Come in, if you dare. Welcome to a world of the fantastic and the macabre. Welcome to Ghost Stories YYC. Prepare yourself for a tale of terror. Written by Desere Pressey, with art by Desere Pressey. Pearls in the Moonlight. Her name was Sage. She was a wanderer. The type of woman with dirt under her nails, shells in her pockets, and salt in her wind-twisted hair. She had a faraway look to her, and a radiance that blurred any hard edges to her figure. Gravity was so charmed by her beauty that she seemed to float into a room rather than walk. She would sometimes talk to someone in the checkout line because she liked finding out why it was that some people had a certain glow to them, a story waiting to be spoke into the hollows of her heart. She'd take all these stories and twist them into a storm of ink on paper between pressed flowers and tea stains. Then, when they brimmed and creaked the binding of the leather-bound book that tried to contain them, she'd set them all free in the sparks of a fire, cliffside on a full moon. When one lives this way, it calls to the wild beyond the tangible and creates an enchanted world full of mysticism. Her erotic intelligence summoned magic into her days. When one dares to live this way, you must also honor the contrast to the light. You must open your inner chamber to the dance of shadows. And that she did. The day that her grandmother died, her family wept tears of sorrow and grief. Sage felt the shadows of their suffering so deeply that she lifted the veil for relief and played music. She danced to honor her grandmother's flight, and she danced to celebrate her grandmother's liberation from the shackles of her failing bones. They buried her grandmother's body below the wildflowers, atop the highest bluff, overlooking the sea. Sage was not welcome to attend the ceremony, which marked the day she was banished. That was the day she lost faith in the living. She longed for companionship from another soul that saw beyond the world of hard edges and sharp minds, a soul that dwells beyond the veil. Sometimes at night, if she walked the bluff burial grounds, she could hear the faintest whispers in the breeze. The wet wildflowers and tall grasses seemed to cling to her ankles, inviting her to pause, so she began to listen more deeply to their invitation. Allowing the wet tendrils to grasp her ankles completely, she surrendered to the will of the shadows beneath the earth. Slowly, like ink falling in water, she sank to the ground, then began to dig, following the whispers of bones below the surface, until she clutched them in her hands. When the moon was fullest and high in the sky, the unearthed bones would mirror back the glowing moon, like radiance of this world beyond right and wrongdoing. Sage collected the white treasures and strung them up like pearls to dance in the wind with her. To this day, when the moon is high, the wind howls whispers that seem to call from beyond the living. If you walk nearby those same bluffs, you might just get a glimpse of the moonlight twisting through her wind-blown hair, and see the glistening of her strung pearls as they dance in their lost faith for the living.